My people, welcome to Igbo Area TV. Today we want to really explain the new problem happening again in Rivers State. This problem is between Governor Sim Fubara and who is our brother actually. Governor Sim Fubara is our brother, our Igbo brother, and former governor, now FCT minister, Nyesom Wike, who is from Edo State. He is from Edo. The other Ikwere people are Igbo, but Wike is from Edo State anyway. Let us explain the latest. Here is the main issue. First, we must understand the truth. The fight is about power and control. It is not about schools. It is not about development. It is not about people. Wike was the governor before. Fubara was his political son. But after Fubara became governor, the two men began to fight for who controls Rivers State. This is the root of everything. Note, Fubara used to be Wike's boy. The tension did not start today. In late 2023, 27 lawmakers who supported Wike suddenly left PDP and joined APC. Fubara's camp responded by declaring their seats vacant, the seat of those lawmakers who left. The fight grew deeper in 2024. Now, by May 2025, President Tinubu had to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State. Even the governor and deputy were suspended for 6 months. There was an administrator that was put in place of the governor.
With concern, it has become inevitably compelling for me to invoke the provision of the Section 305 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State with effect from today, 18th March, year 2025, and I so do. By this declaration, the governor of Rivers State, Mr. Similai Fubara, his deputy, Mrs. Ngozi Odu, and all elected members of the House of Assembly State are hereby suspended for an initial period of 6 months. In the meantime, I hereby nominate Vice Admiral Advocate Ibas, retired, as administrator to take charge of the affairs of the state and the interests of the good people of Rivers State.
It shows how serious this problem was. In July 2025, Tinubu brought Wike, Fubara, and Speaker Martins Amewule together. They smiled, they shook hands, they said peace. Finally, it has been settled. That is what we were meant to believe.
Give God the glory that today is the 26th of June 2025. That peace has finally returned to the state. All agreed to work together with the governor, and the governor also agreed to work together with all of us who are members of the same political family. Yes, just like humans, you have a disagreement, and then you also have a time to also settle your disagreement, and that has been finally concluded today, and we have come to report to Mr. President that is what we have agreed. So for me, everything is over, and enjoy everybody who believe to work with us, to also work together with everybody. That there's no more acrimony, there's nothing to say we're disagreeing. We have all agreed on everything, so we thank God. For me, it's a day we have to thank Almighty God.
For me, it's very important that this day has come to be. What we need for the progress of Rivers State is peace. And by the special grace of God this night, with the help of Mr. President and the agreement of the leaders of the states, including our leader, peace has returned in Rivers State. We'll do everything within our power to make sure that we sustain it this time around. Thank you.
But that peace was weak. It was not from the heart. Many analysts said the peace was based on selfish interest, not true settlement. This is why the fight has returned again. Now, in December 2025, the crisis is back again. What really happened? Amehula, Amamefuna attacks Fubara. The speaker, Martins Amehule, released a strong public statement. Now, there is something about this public statement. Listen carefully. And you look at this, you wonder, should this be the problem? Now, this is what he said. He said, Fubara is neglecting schools. Hanjo. He said, vandals have taken over classroom. He said, one teacher is teaching two classes. Should that be the problem, really, or there is an underlying message? So, a lot of people believe this attack was not really about schools. It was a signal that the peace is over and the political war is back. I think this one is heading down to 2027, the next election. And recently, there was another big problem. Amehule, whatever you call it. He and 15 other lawmakers left PDP. They joined APC, the party where Wike team has now fully moved. Even though Wike refused to move, he's causing problem in PDP, having destroyed the party, having made the party loss, because he was part of the factor that must be considered when we say the party lost 2023 elections. Wike is not ready to leave the party. It's just like somebody who is standing at the door. You are not ready to give way for other people to pass by the side. You are not ready to leave the door. That is the problem. Recently, the party sacked him, but I think he is not believing he has been sacked. He's going to fight back. And if you look at all of Wike's actions, they show you, they reveal Wike is no longer at a PDP. He demarcated the party. He fought against the presidential candidate in 2023 election. What do Wike still want in PDP? Why are people causing wahala everywhere? So what happened is that the other lawmakers joined APC, the parties where Wike's team now fully moved. So Wike's team in River State has fully moved to APC. And this is not good for Fubara's position. It puts Fubara in a very weak position because the assembly is now controlled by lawmakers loyal to Wike. That idea of impeachment must still return. Now, if Fubara goes to APC, he might not even get ticket in the next election. I still smell impeachment and trouble before the election. And I think perhaps they want to deal with him before the election comes. So he is in a very weak position. This is the major escalation. Now, the assembly is attacking Fubara again. They say he's delaying the submission of new commissioners. I don't know whether these new commissioners will be selected by Wike as usual. You know what? We know that Wike put Fubara in that seat. Yes. But Fubara refused to be dictated upon. Wike was his godfather. Wike made him governor, if you want to put it that way. But Wike appointed almost everybody working with Fubara except one. And when Fubara says, no, allow me to be governor, don't dictate for me. Yes, you've made me governor, I appreciate, but you can't do everything for me. And probably, and we had some contractor as at that point in time were reporting to Wike. Contractors working for a state where there is governor. Most of what is done in the state, they have to get Wike's approval. And that is a very big problem. And Fubara was like, I am the one in charge. How can? He's a minister. He did 8 years. Now, prior to Wike, there was Amechi. Prior to Amechi, there was Odili. They all did their turn. None of them was controlling anything in the state. They did their turn and left. But Wike did his turn and refused to leave. He is a minister somewhere. But he wants to still dictate what happens in River State. So that is just the problem in case you don't understand. So they're waiting for him to submit the commissioner's list. Perhaps They will not be okay with it, and they are, while waiting for him, it also includes what their reaction will be. But here's the truth. What is on ground now? Fubara dismissed the former commissioners because they were screened by the wrong assembly faction. So Wahala is loading. Now, he is afraid of sending a new list to the lawmakers who are openly against him, because we are expecting disapproval and the rest and, all the katakata. The assembly wants the list so that they can control the government from inside. So this problem is another power struggle. Ose Kwakwana na River State. Two important reactions came out. ADC chairman Samson said, "This crisis is selfish. It is not what Rivers people need. The peace deal was only to protect certain interests." Now, what did PDP say about it? PDP's Austin Okai said, "Wike's people moved to APC without Fubara. Fubara is now alone and abandoned. Even some supporters have left him. This shows the governor is standing almost alone in this fight." We saw Fubara in Asorok the other day. Is he negotiating his joining APC? Perhaps with that solve, but I'm still seeing the next bid for second term shaky. Even if he joins APC, will he get the primary ticket? I don't know. So what is the main lesson from all of this? The crisis is not about development. Like somebody who was complaining about the schools, teachers teaching two subjects, that is not the problem. It is not about the public schools. It is not about service to the people. It is simply a fight for political control. And when politicians fight for control, governance suffers. The people suffer. Progress stops. Poverty increases. Resources get wasted in the fight. This is why many people are wanting both sides to stop. In rounding up, my people, the Rivers crisis is a clear example of how godfather politics can damage a state. Until there's a genuine peace and until the fight for control ends, Rivers people will continue to feel pain. This is Igbo Area TV breaking it down in a simple way for your understanding. So you understand the truth behind the headlines you see. Thanks for watching. Please share this video after watching. Also subscribe if you have not subscribed. I am Azuka Oji. I say bye-bye for now.